Two of the biggest political names in the state make a visit to the Campus Beautiful. Find out about their visits coming up next on WMLT. Welcome to WMLT on PBS. I'm Sean Miser.
And I'm Courtney Phillips. Even though the national presidential race is in the forefront of most minds, the First Lady of West Virginia felt it was only right to recognize some of the not-so-talked-about offices here in southern West Virginia. Rudy Raines has more on Gail Manchin's visit.
The dinner is an annual event. It is when all of our membership comes together for one evening of celebration.
And Concord University was more than happy to offer its facilities to the Mercer County Chamber of Commerce for their annual dinner. Concord has always had a very strong sense of community and is always more than willing to help out a partner.
Concord University has long had a good relationship with the business community in the area and statewide, and we think it's part of our obligation as a public institution to avail our facilities anytime we can to our friends, and certainly the Chamber has been a good friend of Concord.
The beautiful stateroom here at Concord University has been the host of many different activities, but it was more than happy to offer its services to the Chamber of Commerce. The stateroom has played host to many different figures, but one of its most distinguished guests came in the form of Gail Manchin, who was the keynote speaker at this year's Chamber of Commerce dinner.
The Chamber has its goals for the year all across the state, but I want them to understand that their goals and the governor's goals are so similar, and when we talk about economic development, when we talk about bringing communities together to collaborate, to coordinate activities, to get the biggest bang for our buck, to make sure that in our schools we are providing the skilled workforce for the 21st century. I think that it's nice for people from all different areas to know that we're all on the same page, we're all moving toward the same goals, and it's all going to make West Virginia a great place to live.
New chairperson Tim Arnold says he completely agrees with Mrs. Manchin, and he expects this coming year to be the Chamber's most successful year yet.
This year we will continue all of our projects. We have things lining up very fast. It'll be a good year, I'm sure, with our projects, and as well we'll try to grow our membership and continue our work with the legislature and representing our business members as best we can.
Rudy Raines, WMLT News, Athens.
Gail Manchin wasn't the only big political name to pay a visit to the Concord campus. We're going to join Josh Curbway in the control room now for a little more info on what other politician made a special trip to Athens. Josh?
Thanks, Sean. Our very own Southern West Virginia representative, Nick Joe Rahal, was more than happy to spend time at the Campus Beautiful since its new building will bear his name. After years of hard work, Concord's newest building is finally finished. Congressman Nick Joe Rahal was taken on a tour of the facility named in his honor.
It's beautiful. It is certainly a state-of-the-art facility, a first-class facility. The contractors and the architects did a tremendous job. It's a blending of tradition and new technologies that have been done in a way that is uses energy conservation, and it's just a facility of which everyone in this area can be tremendously proud.
After the tour of the Nick Rahal Technology Center, the dedication ceremony could begin with words of thanks from Dr. Jerry Beasley.
It's my privilege to introduce to you today our Congressman, the Dean of the West Virginia Congressional Delegation in the House of Representatives, Congressman Nick Joe Rahal.
The Congressman has high hopes for the new Technology Center and its effects on the community.
Here we will incubate small businesses, giving them a nurturing safe harbor, and by stirring in the budding talents of Concord students and unleashing the potential of Southern West Virginia small business community, no one will be able to limit the business opportunities that they can and will hatch here in the new Athens, the Athens of tomorrow.
The new Technology Center ensures a bright future for Concord students. Josh Curbway, WMLT News, Athens. The students and staff at Concord are very thankful for the time and donations given by the Congressman and are anxiously awaiting to put the building in full use. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Josh. After the recent tragedy at Northern Illinois University, many people across the country with concealed weapon permits are wanting to carry guns at public universities for personal safety. There have been many incidents of gun-related violence on university campuses across the nation over the past few years, one of them being Virginia Tech, which hit close to home. Next week, our own Jessica Triola will take an in-depth look at concealed carrying legislation aimed at college campuses across the country.
Many times after graduation, it's hard for students to figure out exactly what they want to do with their lives. But luckily on the Concord campus, there are people who are ready and willing to help students find their way. The grad fair was held this past week in the university ballroom to help seniors prepare for their much anticipated graduation day. People were there to aid in ordering invitations, caps and gowns, and class rings, but there was more. Many colleges throughout the state came and set up displays for students looking into different graduate programs, and local businesses gave students a chance to look into their options if they were considering going straight into the workforce. And many different prizes were given away as well, including a class ring, diploma frame, and a $1,500 reduction on loans.
February is the month when we celebrate many historical African American leaders. Concord's own Black Student Union recently sponsored a blood drive for the American Red Cross and did so in spirit of Black History Month. Sean Meisner has more on this worthy cause.
Here at Concord University Student Center, students of all ethnicities gather for friends and food. During Black History Month, students are more conscious of the importance of African American contributions to society.
I like that we have a black candidate for president and a woman candidate for president. That's pretty cool. That's two mile markers to break right there.
George Washington Carver is my favorite figure because he did a lot to, especially like peanut butter, and he was trying to bring nutrition to poor people.
When Lyndon Baines Johnson, President Lyndon Baines Johnson, signed the 1964 Civil Rights Act, giving African Americans more freedom in this country.
One of the most important events in this February's Black History Month is a blood drive sponsored by the Black Student Union and the Red Cross.
We work with the weekend program, the Bonner Scholars, and the blood drive will help diversify BSU as a community service organization for us giving to the community. So maybe when people look and see, oh, BSU's doing a blood drive, they'll want to work with us. I'm going to say, okay, well, I want to learn a little bit more about BSU.
It's important, the thing about the African Americans, they hold certain genes that they can only receive blood from other African Americans. So it's important that the African American community steps up and donates, and for us to get that word out there that it's really important to the Red Cross.
Sean Miser, WMLT News, Athens. Coming up after the break, we'll find out about the newest fitness options on the Concord campus.
And we'll check in with Rudy Raines for our sports. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to WMLT. We're going to send it on over to Rudy Raines now for the latest in sports. Rudy, what do you have for us today?
All right, thanks a lot, Sean. The Concord's men's basketball season is almost over, so we decided to let Courtney Phillips go out and get a closer look at this tough team.
Your Concord University Mountain Lions.
There were numerous doubts about this year's men's basketball team's upcoming season. However, the Lions surprised all of us, including head coach Steve Cox.
Well, we've had an interesting year, kind of an up and down year. We started better really than we expected with 5 wins in December. We had a really tough January where we got down and had a tough stretch. but the kids have bounced back really well, and here at the latter part of the season, we're on a 6-game win streak right now, so we feel like we have a chance to finish strong, and we're just trying to finish as high as we can in the conference for a good seed in the tournament.
The team puts in about 16 hours of practice during a week on the court, in addition to individual practice done by the players to prepare for all the upcoming games. During team practice, the focus is mainly on setting up their offense with the help of a few key players.
You know, generally speaking, we've had the history of having a pretty good offensive team. And this year it's taken a while to develop, but here, and I'd say the last month or so, we've kind of put our offense together where we're getting contributions from a lot of different people. Danny Parker leads our scoring inside, and when we're getting outside scoring from Matt Parker and Anthony Lansdowne.
Mountain Lions and Concord fans know the surprising season wouldn't be possible without the efforts of head coach Steve Cox.
Cox he's very cool. I mean, he tells us what to do, and we just listen to him and everything. So, I mean, we just follow him, and that's how we on this winning streak right now.
The players continue to work hard and prepare for the last 3 games. With WMLT, I'm Courtney Phillips.
And maybe the best thing about this men's basketball team is the fact they are more than willing to help others in need. Earlier this month, the men's and women's basketball teams brought out a new uniform color, and that color was pink. The men's team wore Playing for the Cure shirts during their warm-ups, and the Lady Lions wore bright pink socks throughout their game to show support for breast cancer awareness. And numerous other NCAA schools participated in this event, including NC State and Rutgers University. And one former West Virginia State baseball player has been fighting for his life the last few weeks. 24-year-old Kyle Jones fell backwards down some stairs at a friend's Putnam County home. Kyle was in very critical condition at Charleston's CAMC Hospital due to numerous complications such as a head injury, fluid in his lungs, and a collapsed lung. Unfortunately, the former first-team All-American had no insurance. So a fund to help raise money for his hospital bill has been arranged by the Fifth Third Bank in Hurricane, West Virginia. If you would like to donate to help Kyle, then you can send your donation to the Kids for Kyle Fund, care of Fifth Third Bank, 3049 Mount Vernon Road, Hurricane, West Virginia, 25526. The bank is located near the All Bases Covered Baseball Academy, where Jones works and gives around 50 baseball lessons a week to local kids. And Sean, I'm glad to hear the last week we found out Kyle has made vast improvements as far as health goes.
It's good to hear, and I'm sure he still has plenty of people praying for him.
Definitely keep those prayers going.
Well, thank you, Rudy. The students at Concord University have a healthier future in sight. The new fitness center project is now starting to take shape. The fitness center will be located in the cafeteria in North Towers and will include aerobic equipment. Students can expect the fitness center to be open around the end of March.
And Concord-based musical group Old School Abbey will be making a big splash soon in Lewisburg. The 5 Concord students will be recording their first live album February 29th at Carnegie Hall in Lewisburg, West Virginia. This will be the follow-up to their successful Girl Like You album. The band recently played in Huntington, West Virginia with hitmakers The Spin Doctors. You can find out more information about the band and the other concert dates on their tour schedule. Just go to MySpace Music and type in Old School Abbey.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Tune in again in 2 weeks for more WMLT. For Courtney Phillips and the rest of WMLT, I'm Sean Miser.